Okay, today we'll introduce introduction to divided and conquer algorithm. This divided and conquer algorithm is a basic strategy for solving very complex tasks or complex problems. It is to divide, or this divide and conquer algorithm basic for solving all sort of the problems in computer science. That means it breaks large problem into smaller, more manageable problems. Each subproblem solved independently in case of or in a recursive manner, and it integrates the solution to determine a solution to the large problem. That is called as divide and conquer algorithm. In this chapter or in this introduction to divide and conquer algorithm, there is a general method. There are steps to divide and conquer and how to merge the solution. That is the idea of divide and conquer algorithm. The divide and conquer algorithm is a fundamental programming techniques for solving challenging issues or difficult problems. This divide and conquer algorithm is straightforward, yet it is effective concept. That means it divide a big problem into smaller, easier to manage each sub-problems or each parties, solve the smaller sub-problems in independent manner. At the end, it integrates the solution to the solve the main problem or for large problem. In computer science, divide and conquer algorithm or approach is a fundamental or basic method for solving or resolving various issues or challenging tasks. That means in order to find a solution to the original or large problem, divide a major problem to smaller sub-problem, more manageable sub-problem. Each sub-problems solve independently or separately. At the end, it integrates their solution or their answers. That is the introductory parts of divide and conquer algorithm. Okay, let us start general method of divide and conquer algorithm. This is the general method, that's to solve or to divide the given problem into smaller and smaller sub-problems. So for those, there is a method or there is an idea to solve that problems into smaller and smaller pieces. Let us start. This divide and conquer algorithm or approach is when the problem is divided into smaller and smaller sub-problems, and then each sub-problem is solved independently in a recursive manner. When we divide the sub-problem into smaller and smaller sub-problem, we may eventually reach a stage called as where no more division is possible. That means atomic. That atomic is indivisible. That means not possible to divide. This is called as general method. That one is those smallest sub-problems are solved using original solution because it takes lesser time to compute the algorithm. When we calculate the computational time or the performance of the algorithm, we must divide the given problem into smaller and smaller time. At that time, it takes lesser time to compute the given large problem is easier when after finding the solution for sub-problems. For those, the solution of all sub-problems is finally merged. Why? Because in order to obtain or in order to find the solution of an original problem, the other one is divide and conquer algorithm or approach is the most important algorithmic techniques that can be used to solve a variety of computational problems. This is the general method, that is the general idea to divide or to classify the given problem into smaller and smaller sub-problem. Okay, the other one is steps to divide and conquer algorithm. There are three broad ideas or broad classifications of divide and conquer approach in three processes. The first one is divide or break. That means this is to divide the given problem into a number of sub-problems that are smaller instances of the same problem. That means it breaks the given problem into smaller and smaller sub-problems. Those sub-problems should represent a part of the original problem. So this step generally takes a recursive approach to divide the given problem until no subproblem is further divisible. That means up to indivisible. This stage is the subproblem become atomic in size, but still represent some part of the actual problem. That is called as a divide. This is the first step. The second step is conquer or solve. This step receives a lot of smaller sub-problems that's to be solved. Generally at this level, the problems are to be or considered to be solved on their own properties. That means the problem is divided in first step. The second step is conquer. That means after subdividing some problems, those sub-problems are recursively solve each sub-problem. If the problem is too large, you will continue to divide until they are small enough to solve in direct manner. That is called as conquer or solve method. The other one is combine. That means combine the solution to those sub-problems into the solution for the original problem. When the problem is divided into smaller and smaller, after that, solve each problem independently in a recursive manner. At the end, we merge or combine. When the smaller sub-problems are solved independently, this stage recursively combined, then until they formulate the solution of the original problem. So this algorithmic approach works recursive and conquer and merge the steps to work those close they are appear as a one. That is called as the 3 steps of divide and conquer algorithm for any given problem, for any given large problem. When we see divide and conquer algorithm in a problem of by using the size or the problem of n side, that means the diagrammatical way or diagrammatical description of divide and conquer algorithm. When we divide a problem of size n, that can be classified into two halves. That means subproblem 1, the size of n over 2. This is the subproblem 2, that is the size of n classified by 2. When the problem is classified into two parts, there is no more division or no more classification. So solve this problem. The solution, this is the solution for the n subproblem 1. That means the size divided by 2. That's the solution for subproblem 1. This is the solution for subproblem 2. After that, we can merge the given solution to the original given problem size n. That is called as divide and conquer algorithm description in case of diagrammatical manner. The other one is the control abstraction of divide and conquer algorithm. This divide and conquer algorithm is the fundamental strategy in computer science where you should solve a large complex problem by dividing it into smaller and smaller, more manageable parts. So in this case, this is an algorithm to divide or to conquer and merge the given solution. If the problem is P, then return to P. That means in line 3, if the given problem is small enough to be solved. So directly, for example, solving one number or sorting one number, that is the problem is somewhat small. So you must solve it and return the result. That is no more algorithm loop forever. That is the line 3. But in line 6, the problem is the given problem is very large. So it divide into smaller and smaller piece. That means problem 1 to problem k. K is greater than or equals to 1. Why? Because the problem is greater than 1. So in line 7, apply divide and conquer to each sub-problem. After dividing the given large problem into smaller and smaller sub-problem, we can conquer or solve the given problem for each solution, or for each problem, you must find each solution. And in line 8, you must return to combine divide and conquer 1, problem 2. That means merging the given problems from problem 1 to problem n. That means the solution, merging the solution for each sub-problem. That's the introductory parts of divide and conquer algorithm in case of design and analysis of algorithm. Thank you for